So I know Andrew because we're both musicians. He's a producer. I'm a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Today we're about to talk about a little bit of some music stuff. This whole Drake fiasco that's going on.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah.
what have you heard about it thus far?
I I will be honest, I'm deep in it. I'm in deep lore. I'm following every video, following every whatever Kendrick drop and Drake little diss on Instagram Live. So I've been keeping up with it since it come. I saw everything that Drake posted on his Instagram stories, but I know he posted a lot. But yeah, so I've been in it pretty deep. What about you? Are you in it that deep?
So I've been watching. I've been trying to keep up with it. What I know
Mhm.
thus far is that Drake's suing Kendrick. He's not
Yeah.
happy about what happened with Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying?
hmm And would you be happy about about that? About a diss track about you? You know, and if I would imagine that he is using any avenue he can to try and not get him to let it play at the Super Bowl. I think that's kind of the biggest thing is that he's doing this to challenge it so that he can't play Not Like Us at the Super Bowl, which could be
Oh,
could be the main reason why any of this is happening. That's my first reaction to this.
dude, I
But
didn't even think
also,
about that. I did not even think
yeah,
about that.
it would make
Did
sense.
you did you see
It would make
how Lil Wayne was hurt that he wasn't playing at this year's Super Bowl?
Yeah, I saw that. And I do understand that. I do understand it because it is in New Orleans and you're going to have a rapper, if you're going to have a rapper having not Lil Wayne is a little bit of a diss on him, but it is a good argument to be said. Is it the location or is it more about who is the most popular, or who is like the of the moment, which I would say Kendrick is way more of the moment in hip hop right now. But Lil Wayne's a legend. So
It's it's interesting that they haven't had Lil Wayne play
oh
the
yeah,
the Super Bowl before, but I guess like hip hop wasn't what it is today.
right. And were they gonna have, you know, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, all of them at the Super Bowl, whatever, 10, 15 years ago? Would they have ever? I think that probably not. They were having people like Justin Timberlake and um, Janet Jackson. I don't know, just these very very popular people that were more pop, more R&B kind of influence, and we've just now over the last 10, maybe 5 years, maybe last few Super Bowls are having hip hop on it, which I mean, thank goodness, thank God it's coming back. It's finally they're giving it a chance. I think that hip hop has been around for so long and has been way way more culturally impactful than a lot of types of music. So having them perform on the Super Bowl is overdue, and I'm glad that we're
Yeah.
finally there. But I think in the time of like Little Wayne, they weren't doing that, and they should have. They really should have. But I don't even know
What's
who's making those
interesting
decisions.
It's interesting because I feel like I'm like, why don't they just do it together? But I'm also now I'm like, oh well, duh. Like Kendrick and Lil Wayne, especially right after this Drake thing, that just I don't know. That seems like a bad PR move.
Now Kendrick is doing these really good like tactical moves, and I could see him doing something like, all right, me and Little Wayne were beefing over the summer. Me and Little Wayne are beefing right now, but at the Super Bowl, Little Wayne comes out or something like that. Like Kendrick is working on these tactical marketing moves that he hasn't really done since like I don't know, before Damn, I would say. And like in this era of Kendrick, he's really learning and really understanding the voice of the people. I don't even know if he's reading more social media, I'm reading more Twitter. I don't even know what he's doing, but he is reading into the culture and really like trying to be the voice of the people, which I mean, even what started this beef was him calling out Drake. and just calling out people like Drake and these Diddy and all these kind of things. Like, that is the kind of stuff that I believe really has been said for a long time about Drake, about high ranking figures in this music industry. And it's just taking someone like Kendrick to really say something about it.
So all right, I got a question for you. In this whole Drake Kendrick feud, who are you? You got a side?
Drake versus Kendrick.
All right, I'll say
I
this. I obviously think that Kendrick wins in the rap battle aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I'm just sometimes your team's not winning. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to see. Do you got a side in
All right. So before this year, I would say that I was on Team Drake. I would. But now that we are really talking about Drake's past and really talking about what Drake is all about truly as a person, even though
Mm.
I have always been somebody that can separate the art. I can separate art versus artists all day. And now that we are finally coming around to what Kendrick that Drake's all about and versus what Kendrick's character is, Kendrick is converting me to his side, really, truly. And I have to say it, like, it is really sus what Drake is doing and has been doing. And I know he's surrounded by yes men. I know he's surrounded by people that will just say, "Go ahead, you can do whatever you want," you know. And so I think that is kind of what we're talking about here. That's what Kendrick is saying when he wants to watch the party die, because the whole party is just Drake's entourage and Drake's people, and they're all saying yes to him, and they're all giving him anything he needs at any given moment. And I think somebody needs to call him out for that. And I think that's kind of what Kendrick's doing.
Nah, I agree. I don't disagree with that. I
You
think
know?
uh I think this whole Drake suing thing, I think a few things on it. One, I think it doesn't look good
Mm-mm.
for just it's bad for business. Like you're
For
a
business.
rapper, you're suing another rapper because he's dissing you. But then at the same time, so there's a couple things, right? I wouldn't like if someone was calling me
Oh yeah.
a PDF file. We gotta keep it censored. But I would
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like if someone was calling me a PDF file. You know what I'm saying? I would
I
be
agree.
like, not dope. I don't. I'll say
Yeah.
this: I haven't seen any convictions. I don't know what he's done. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Hmm.
if he has done the things that people think he's done, then throw the book at him. You know what I'm saying? But if it's just that, all right, that Millie Bobby Brown situation, it was weird, but I don't know if it was enough for me to
Yeah.
be like, nah, you're weird. Because I'm all like, all right, it's like this, right? For those of you who don't know the Millie Bobby Brown situation, somehow, basically, Millie was like, yeah, I be texting Drake. And they were like, oh, what is someone like you and Drake text about? And she was like, what happens in the text stays in the text. Horrible wording. Horrible wording. But I get it in terms of being like, well, we're having conversations, it's not public. But I think she was just trying to be like cool, say the right
Mhm.
thing. But it's like, oh gosh, that sounds absolutely horrible. Like you
And
can't say that.
reflecting on that moment, I think that you're right that it is. We have no idea what she was trying to say. Like, what happens if like she was just then like PR trained and she doesn't
Yeah.
really know exactly what to say there, so she just said, "Oh, whatever
And
stays,
that's the
blah blah blah."
thing. She's young at the time, so like it's
Mhm.
also like she doesn't know. She's not going to say the right thing. But I say this. I'll play devil's advocate because at the end of the day, anything you said to Millie probably could have been said on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
That is true.
when it goes to the text messages, it's like I don't know, buddy. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Keep it on the gram.
getting the phone number and texting her. come on, like where is his mind at there? You know, like maybe it is to be culturally relevant to the younger people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's some sort of marketing move, but just like, ooh, you got to see how that looks. And that's kind of my whole thing with Drake is that all of this, how does he not see what the lawsuit even looks like to the public? He knows what that looks like. So is he ignorant, or maybe he's trying to play whatever 4D chess or something? But like, as always, we're running into these problems with our celebrities like really understanding what they look like to normal people, to just normal, everyday people, because they're not talking to everyday people at all, you know?
Hmm.
And that's what I'm talking about with like Drake's posse. Like Drake's posse was like, oh yeah, text Millie, like whatever, talk to her about whatever, talk to her about boys and shit. And like, what what are we talking? Why don't you understand what that's like? And then she's gonna go to eat, to the media and talk to them about, oh yeah, Drake's the most famous person on my phone. And it's like, ooh, what?
Yeah,
So
yeah. But what do you guys talk
yeah,
about? Nothing. He just gives me advice about boys. It's like, what? No, yeah. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. There's a lot of things where it's just like, man, maybe it's a bit of me just being too big of a fan of Drake. Like I
uh-huh.
don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But hey, it gets dicey. But there's
it
so
does.
him suing is more than just so okay, I think it's one defamation, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh Even though it's like they both kind of said things about each other.
right.
But the thing is, apparently when you ask Spotify or your phone to play Certified Lover Boy, it goes to the Not Like Us record.
Ooh. Now,
I
is
I'd be
that
upset about that.
that's upsetting. That's crazy that UMG and Spotify would have some sort of conversation about that and program that. Now, I have a feeling that in the instances that this happened, whatever if this happened, whatever they have instance wise, I think some programmer did this, not really UMG. I think maybe a Spotify or a Siri or a Apple programmer thought it would be funny, and it maybe was working for like a few minutes, and I bet it got taken down so fast.
No, no,
So,
no, no. I tried it. I tried it yesterday.
oh,
So the thing is, because in his song he goes certified lover boy, you know what I'm saying? When
oh,
you could be like, hey, Spotify, play the song that's like, I put my hands up, I'm playing my song, and then it'll go party in the USA. Like it knows what you're talking about. But
oh.
I think in a situation like this where you got two huge artists, like you
Mm,
gotta be able to. I don't know. It gets dicey because think about how many times. Like, okay, this is it, right? Do I think that this is majority of the plays? Absolutely not. But do I think that it's still grounds to make an argument on? Maybe.
mm,
But if I'm like, this guy's getting extra plays and extra the extra stats when people are actually trying to search my music, like they
mm,
want to go listen to my album, and because they're trying to go listen to my album, it's sending them to this song. And it's not like Kendrick just happened to say certified lover boy. He said it because he was specifically talking about Drake.
yeah,
So, you could say Drake could be like, "Hey, half those plays were people being like, yo, I want to listen to Certified Lover Boy.' They spoke it to their phone, because I get it, right? You could just skip right away, but let's play Drake's lawyer, right? If you are, if you're in, if you're somewhere where you're talking to Alexa or talking to Siri, saying like, play this song, you're probably not in a position just to skip it right away. So
mm,
that being said, the song's going to play for, I don't know, 15, 30 seconds. Kenny, he's going to get his views, he's going to get his stats, his numbers,
yeah,
blah blah blah, pushing the song more and more. So when it comes to that, I can understand being like, he got a percentage of plays off of me. I don't think it was majority. I don't think
Mm.
it was majority at all. I think Drake's a little blind to how culturally relevant the song is,
Yeah, I
but
agree.
still, the law's the law. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Well, so if we can talk about what the majority of the plays really could be coming from, I know that this lawsuit is also more about like Spotify botting plays, and as if this that could be happening. I'll tell you what my version of what I think botting is when you're listening to music and then it starts automatically playing you music that they think you might like. And during the
Mm.
summer, it played me so much Sabrina Carpenter. It played me Please Please Please. It played me whatever Espresso all the time on just recommended playlists. And I have a feeling that that's what Drake might be talking about when he's saying that like Spotify might have uh whatever unorganically pumped his numbers up. I think that that actually could be a thing. Now, if we're going to say that that's a thing, we're also going to say that I bet Spotify has done the same thing for Drake 2 years ago when Drake was the was the face of every genre on Spotify, not 2 to 3 years ago during even Certified Lover Boy, but also like other times in his life, especially during Honestly Maybe or whatever. Is that the name of that album? I don't even know now. But
Honestly, mine or something.
honestly, never mind. That
Yeah.
album, because it was all over the genre spectrum, it could be put on any playlist. And so his face was on so many Spotify playlists that I think there's a counter argument for that, you know?
No, yeah, I think Drake is like, hey, I know you guys are cheating because I know the game.
Yeah, he
So
knows.
this is what it is on top of it. Basically, another thing that Drake is trying to say is that they're playing favorites because they gave Kendrick a discount.
Mm,
Allegedly, Spotify gave UMG a discount because basically they want to lower Drake's value, his valuability to the company, because
uh,
we're using fake numbers here, right? Say he has a $600,000 deal. I'm sure he's making way more than that, right? But $600,000 deal per whatever, and then he's like, "Yo, I'm about to have to re-sign. I want 8." You know what I'm saying? They could easily they might be sitting there like, we don't want to give him 8, we don't want to give him 6, we want to give him 2. So if
mm,
he's in the middle of this rap beef and we make him lose right before he has to re-sign, now when it comes
mm,
to negotiation, it's like, hey man, how do we know, like, your peak isn't behind you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you did a lot of really great things, but how do we know it's not downhill from here? You know what I'm
mm.
saying?
Well, so I guess we're in a very gray area of this new music streaming arena, huh? Because I think this is new problems for these artists and for these labels. And from what I have understand is that UMG and Spotify are and Republic Records and any record label are definitely in talks because UMG is providing them an artist, providing them content, and Spotify is making billions off of this content. And if they start breaking it down, it's probably about a couple 100 million per label. So I'm sure that there is some discounts going on that they're going to get this much money off of them, and all this kind of stuff. That there is definitely a gray area for this right now. So we could see, but I mean, I'm sure there is something going on, and I'm sure Drake knows all about it, and that's why he's exposing it in this. Which I don't. It just leaves him open to get litigation against him the other way around.
No, yeah, you're right. But there could be another reason, like what everyone's suspecting. Maybe
Hmm.
Drake's just bitter. Maybe he's just
Yeah.
salty. Maybe he's just like, yo, what? Like, maybe
I
he's
think
like,
he
the
is.
song's not even that good. Like, you guys like this? You guys got bad taste in music.
Well, I think he is. And I think that this is him like trying to say that he's not professional route instead of doing his IG Instagram posts and his stories and stuff like that. Instead of that, we're going to go the official route. But as always, it does seem that his lawyers or his people are always like, yeah, yeah, file a lawsuit against him because that's that kind of stuff. But I think that there is definitely a defamation lawsuit here for sure. I think that the stuff that he said that Kendrick said about Drake. I mean, I think he did kind of say it first, but now they've both said it, so who cares? But I think there is that Drake could probably maneuver this to be more of a defamation lawsuit because it says it in this lawsuit that, or it's not even a lawsuit, in this of possible litigation. They
Wait, we lost you. We
did
lost you
know
for a
that.
second there. Say that last part one more time.
No. Okay. So in this proclamation of possible litigation is what this actually is. It's not even litigation yet. What it is, Drake is saying that UMG knew about um, Kendrick saying these things about him in the song, and they still released the song. But I think the problem is that Drake is just going to use it as defamation, but it brought in millions and millions of dollars to both him and the label because people would not be listening to Drake's music unless Kendrick released this song. So it could go both ways. And I thought that from what I was realizing was that I thought that the beef was mutually beneficial because they were both on the same label. They're both making money from it. But I don't understand why Drake would be bitter about it. I think that he is. And I think he's just a pride person, very, very prideful person. But why is he bitter is what my real question is.
Yeah, I think those allegations and things that people throw at him, they probably get to him. You know what I'm saying? As any human would, it would. You know what I'm saying? But it's very interesting to see how he's handling this. We've never seen Drake in this position. We've only seen him as the A side. You know, we saw him beefing with Meek Mill. We saw how that went. You know what I'm saying? He got ushered in by Lil Wayne.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
when it like the biggest rapper before him, he got ushered in by Lil Wayne. Him and Meek Mill had their beef. Who else was he beefing with? Did he have more beefs? All the beefs he
Um,
had, ironically, it's kind of weird. A lot of the people that he's beefed with are like the people that he's like put on, you
yeah,
know, which is because I know he got beef with ASAP Rocky, but you know, there's the whole Rihanna thing. We can't even
yeah.
keep up with Drake beefs these days, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that those beefs, a lot of them came from jealousy of Drake, and we aren't at that time anymore. Now we're at a time where people are more inclined to say that Drake is at the same level of a Kanye or of a Kendrick or something like that. Now we've got kind of a level playing field because of there's so many music fans now. I think there were way more hip hop fans back when Drake was coming up. There were way less, and I think there's way more now. So I think that Kendrick, him, maybe even J. Cole, probably not, but Kanye have like very similar numbers fan wise. And I think you even can look at Spotify monthly listeners, and Kendrick and Drake are very close. And so that might have been the difference in this beef compared to those other beefs because those other beefs, Meek Mill wasn't really competition for Drake and all those kind of things. They were more and more, you're like you said, he's on the top and he's just punching below. But I think that we're at a new time now where there's more there's more of these people that are at the same level as Drake. And so that is like helping this beef be pushed forward to more of a even playing field. And so that, I mean, he has to resort to litigation, which is crazy.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, we're going to see how this plays out. I want to
Right.
say thank you to you guys for coming, watching today's episode of the Dropout 704 podcast. Again, we want to thank Andrew for being here, man. Give it up for Andrew one more time.
Thank you for
W's in
having
the
me.
chat. W's in the chat. All right, guys.
W.
Peace out. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill.